Okay, so ready to dive into something pretty amazing today.
Always ready for a deep dive.
All right, so we're going way off the typical tourist path. I think this is going to be really fun for our listeners.
Yeah, I agree. Should be good.
Okay, so Vietnam, we're talking festivals and events like some of those spectacular celebrations anywhere in the world.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head there. Spectacular and just so vibrant, and really they offer such a unique window, I think, into the heart of Vietnamese culture.
Yeah, and I think, for people who think of, kind of like a museum or something as a way to learn about culture, this is like a living, breathing museum and like a party at the same time.
Exactly. It's where history, legends, beliefs all come together, and
Yeah.
you've got music, dance, just this incredible energy.
Like, have you ever seen those dragon boat races?
Oh, yeah, incredible. Just the power and the teamwork and the whole spectacle. It's amazing.
So that's just one little taste of what we're getting into today. And I think this will be perfect for anyone who's thinking about a trip or just armchair travelers who want to, kind of escape with us for a little while.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
All right, so 10 amazing festivals are on the menu today. And we are going to go chronologically through the year. So kicking things off in January with Tet Nguyen, Dan, the Lunar New Year.
Big one, right?
The biggest.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll cover that and then journey all the way through the seasons ending in December with the beautiful Dalat Flower Festival.
All right, so for each of these stops along the way, we're going to hit like the key points, right?
Yeah, so obviously when they happen and what they're all about, the significance, like the deeper meaning behind them.
The why.
Exactly. And then, of course, all the cool stuff to see and do the actual activities and traditions. Some of them are, very intimate family things passed down through generations. Some are these massive public spectacles.
Like those boat races?
Exactly. And I think, we also want to highlight the places where each festival really comes alive because, the atmosphere in some cities during these events is just electric.
Totally. And of course, food, can't forget about the food.
Oh, no, absolutely. That's a huge part of the experience. And every festival has its own unique culinary traditions and specialties.
Like tempting your taste buds along the way.
Exactly. And all of this is really, connected back to Vietnam's history and legends and beliefs. So it's going to be fascinating to uncover those links.
So much more than just like a party.
Way more.
Okay, so we did a ton of research for this one. Lots of sources.
Yeah.
Lots of interesting little details to bring everything to life.
Yeah, like those little nuggets of information that just make things stick with you,
Totally. So, for example, we'll talk about Ban Xing during Tet, which is this special sticky rice cake that represents the earth and the sky.
Yeah, and it's not just about eating it, it's about the whole process of making it often a big family affair really emphasizes those strong bonds.
And then you've got the dragon dances during Tet Nguyen too, which is the Lantern Festival. Just visually spectacular, and they're meant to bring good luck for the year ahead.
Yeah, so many layers of meaning and symbolism in these events.
For sure. Okay, so for our listeners who are thinking, hey, I want to actually experience this stuff, maybe a trip to Vietnam is in order, we've got some cool suggestions sprinkled throughout the episode.
Yeah, think of it as ways to really elevate your trip, make it even more special and immersive.
So we're not just talking about watching a parade from the sidelines. We're talking about getting right into the heart of things.
Exactly. So, for example, during Tet, you could check out the Ben Phan Princess Dinner Cruise. Imagine gliding along the Saigon River as the city is all lit up around you.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
And then during Tet Nguyen too, you could head up to the Skyview Observation Deck in Ho Chi Minh City, and you get these incredible panoramic views of the city while the Lantern Festival is happening below you.
So you see the ancient traditions, but against this backdrop of a modern city.
Exactly. It's that contrast that makes it so interesting.
Okay, so moving on to March, we had the Perfume Pagoda Festival.
Yeah.
And this one is really unique because it's not just a single day. It's this whole pilgrimage that can last from January to March on the lunar calendar. And it draws huge crowds of pilgrims to this beautiful perfume pagoda site near Hanoi.
And what's really cool is that the journey itself is part of the experience. You get these really scenic boat rides along the Yen Stream, and the pagoda is nestled in these dramatic limestone cliffs.
Oh, wow. So peaceful and spiritual.
Exactly. And then you could combine that with seeing the Quintessence of Tonkin show, which is near Hanoi, and that's this big outdoor spectacle with music, dance, water, puppetry, just incredible.
So you get like the spiritual side and then the cultural side all in one trip.
Exactly, and that's something that I think is really woven throughout a lot of these festivals, that connection between the spiritual and the cultural.
For sure. Okay, let's keep rolling. April brings us to the Hue Festival.
Okay, so this one happens every other year in the Imperial City of Hue, and it's a huge celebration of Vietnamese culture in all its forms.
So we're talking art performances, folk games, exhibitions, all sorts of stuff.
Exactly, and the backdrop is incredible. You've got the Imperial City, which is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and the Perfume River, just so much history and beauty in one place.
And, we talked about food before. Well, Hue is known for its cuisine, so you can definitely indulge in some amazing food while you're there.
Absolutely. Hue cuisine is renowned for its delicate flavors and an elegant presentation.
So if you're into history, art, Imperial Vietnam, this festival sounds like a must-do.
For sure. And then to kind of balance out all that excitement, you could check out the Kobe Onsen experience, which is a traditional Japanese hot spring bathing ritual. It's at the Kawara Mayan Onsen Resort, and it's a really peaceful and rejuvenating escape from all the hustle and bustle.
Oh, I love that idea. All right, let's jump to late May, early June for the Ho Chi Minh City River Festival.
This one is all about celebrating Ho Chi Minh City's connection to the water, and it's a really vibrant, multicultural event.
So we're talking dragon boat races, water sports competitions, cultural performances all happening along the Saigon River.
Exactly, and the whole riverside just comes alive during this festival. You've got floating markets, food stalls, music, dance. It's just a really exciting atmosphere.
And it's a great opportunity to see some of the city's landmarks like the War Remnants Museum and the Notre Dame Cathedral.
Yeah, and for a totally unique perspective, you could take a Saigon River sightseeing cruise with Saigon Water Go, and you get these amazing 360-degree views of the city, especially beautiful at sunset.
I bet. Okay, so mid-June takes us to the coast for the Nha Trang Sea Tourism Festival.
This one is all about showcasing the beauty of Nha Trang's coastline. So you've got water sports competitions, culinary festivals, cultural shows, music events, just a really fun and lively atmosphere.
And of course, you have to take advantage of the beautiful beaches while you're there.
Absolutely. Nha Trang has some of the most beautiful beaches in Vietnam.
And for a little extra excitement, our sources recommend a trip to Vin Wonders Nha Trang.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest theme parks in Vietnam, with all sorts of rides and attractions for all ages.
Sounds awesome. Okay, July brings us to the Da Nang International Fireworks Festival, or DIF, as it's often called.
This one is a huge draw for visitors from all over the world, and it's easy to see why you've got these incredible fireworks displays synchronized to music, all happening along the Han River.
And it's not just fireworks, there's music performances, cultural activities, just a really festive atmosphere throughout the city.
And Da Nang itself is a really cool city to explore with lots to see and do, like the Ban Nay Hills and the My Son Sanctuary.
And speaking of Ban Nay Hills, CNN actually recognized their cable car network as an engineering marvel, so that's something you definitely don't want to miss.
It's one of the longest and highest cable car systems in the world.
Wow. Okay, so August brings us to the Mid-Autumn Festival, also known as Tet Trung Thu, and this one is really special for families.
It's a time for reunions and celebrating traditions, so you see lots of beautiful lantern processions, lion dances, and everyone enjoys these special moon cakes under the full moon.
Sounds magical.
It is. And for a really relaxing way to experience the festival in Ho Chi Minh City, you could take a Saigon River luxury sightseeing sunset cruise. Just imagine cruising along as the city lights up.
Perfect way to end the day of celebrating.
Absolutely. And the festive spirit actually continues into September with more lantern displays and events happening all over Vietnam.
So it's kind of like an extended celebration.
Exactly. And if you're looking for something a little different, you could try go-kart racing at the FRV Go-Kart Racing at Dai Nam Track.
Yeah, that's something I wouldn't have expected.
A little bit of adrenaline to mix things up.
For sure. Okay, so October brings us to the Hoi An Lantern Festival.
This one is truly magical. The whole town of Hoi An is lit up with these beautiful lanterns, creating this incredibly romantic atmosphere.
It's like stepping back in time.
It is! And you can release your own lantern on the Thu Ban River, explore the historic landmarks, try all the amazing street food.
And to really delve into the history of Hoi, and our sources recommend the Hoi An Memory Show.
Yeah, it's this huge outdoor performance that tells the story of Hoi An from its early days as a trading port to the present day.
And you can combine that with a peaceful cruise along the Hoi River or a basket boat ride through the coconut jungle.
So many ways to experience the magic of Hoi An.
Okay, so November brings us to the Om Bok Festival, which is celebrated by the Khmer community in the Mekong Delta.
It's dedicated to the moon deity and the importance of water, and there's these really exciting boat races as part of the festival.
So you get to see the cultural traditions of the Khmer people and experience the Mekong Delta.
Exactly, and for a really unique way to explore the waterways, you could try a coconut jungle basket boat ride.
Okay, so that brings us to our final stop, December, and the Dalat Flower Festival.
Dalat is known as the Kingdom of Flowers, and this festival really lives up to that name.
So imagine streets filled with flowers of every color, and the air is just filled with these amazing scents.
It's truly a feast for the senses, and there's also floral exhibitions, cultural performances, just a really beautiful and uplifting event.
And for a little adventure, you could try the Datanla Alpine Coaster, which gives you these amazing views of the surrounding mountains and valleys.
And you'll see the Datanla waterfalls along the way.
Wow, so we've really covered a lot of ground today, from the grand celebrations of Tet Nguyen Dan to the vibrant flowers of the Dalat Flower Festival. It's amazing to see the diversity of Vietnamese culture.
And I think what's so special about these festivals is that they offer such a dynamic and rewarding way to experience Vietnam beyond the typical tourist attractions.
Yeah, it's about connecting with the people, the traditions, the history.
Exactly. So as we wrap up today, I want to leave you with a question. What aspect of Vietnamese culture do you find most intriguing after hearing about all these festivals?
And what further exploration might that inspire in you?
Yeah.
Maybe a particular festival stood out, or maybe it's one of those activities we talked about.
We encourage you to keep exploring and discover the magic of Vietnam for yourself.
All right, that is a wrap on this deep dive into the festivals of Vietnam. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, it was a pleasure.
We'll see you next time.
Sounds good.